about that.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have.
Welcome back, guys. My name is Adam. Hope you enjoyed the front montage. We are back at 427 Garage in Carthage, Tennessee. One of my favorite couples, Marcus and Christina, had us out today, and we are talking about Superformance GT40s. Specifically, this Mark II, which is actually getting ready to go on Bring a Trailer soon, so if you're interested in the car, we'll make sure that the link is in the description. Now, we're gonna help hopefully educate you if you're looking to spec a Superformance GT40. Marcus is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to the different transmissions and engines and liveries and colors and specs. We're going to answer common questions like, can you get AC? We are going to take a point of view drive. We're going to tell you how it drives. Got a Roush powered 427. It's making about 550 horsepower, so it should be real rowdy and fun. But beyond that, I think you're going to get a lot of value of this video. You know, these Superformance GT40s are a phenomenal value in my eyes. I just got back from Monterey Car Week. If you guys watched any of my reels, you know, there's cars going for $1, $2, $3 million, and for a couple $100,000. Why, that's still a lot of money, let's be honest. That's so much value when you look at it, what else is on the market, in my personal opinion. And by the way, this is a 2008 vehicle that when it came out and was purchased originally, it was under $100,000. This car is now worth over $200,000 all day long. So that's a really good store of value. So I do think if you're interested in buying one of these, this is a great option. Hopefully you'll check out Marcus in 427 Garage. He's been a good friend of mine over the last few years. He's got, you know, Shelby Cobras and all kinds of awesome stuff. But let's get into the video, guys. I'm gonna bring Marcus on, answer some common questions. I think you're gonna get some value, and let's get into the next clip. Marcus.
Hey Adam.
Good to see you, my man. Thanks for having us out today.
Yeah, good to have you back.
No place I'd rather be. All right. So, we didn't talk much about the history of the Mark I versus the Mark II, Le Mans, the 24-hour race, the history of this car, why they built the mid-engine to beat Ferrari. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen Ford versus Ferrari, right? I know we were just talking about that. Yeah. But let's take a minute to talk about the Mark I versus the Mark II. And I'm curious, you know, do most people come in here wanting a Mark II or a Mark I? And this is a Mark II, by the way, guys.
That's a Mark II, yeah. It is split up, basically. A lot of people like the Mark I. It's got a different back end. It's more rounded. It looks a little different. A lot of
sleek.
people, yeah. Some people like the Mark II better. It's just, you know, vice versa, whatever you like best.
Now, like the period correct car, you can't get certain engine sizes in a Mark I, right? So
right. All the Mark Is were basically small block cars back in the day, and then they got modified to the Mark II to accommodate the big 427 FE motors that you can have in those as well. We mostly run Windsor-based small blocks, 427. You can also have more modern engines or FE engines.
You can do more of a resto mod on these if you want, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the modern engine, Future 40, which has, I believe, the 5.2 liter Coyote, is that right? Or maybe even the Voodoo engine?
They have two motors. They have a supercharged Coyote and a twin turbo V6.
Oh, wow. An EcoBoost.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily have to put an old school engine in it. Now, what's your opinion on that? Because I know you have a strong one.
Well, I have a strong opinion, but number one, we'll do whatever the customer wants and makes him happy, but I will give you my honest recommendation. There's several options you can have. You have the old school pushrod engine like we have here, Windsor-based, or the big FE. Doesn't really matter. You can have a Coyote motor, more modern setup.
Right.
You could theoretically have a V6, but it's got to be.
Yeah,
you need a little.
I'd go with the 6-cylinder, but
right.
Keep in mind if you go with the 5.2 liter, you're going to have a much higher, you know, run out. Probably what, 72.
Yeah, the Coyote motors have one big disadvantage next to the enormous size. They have only little low end torque compared to a good build Windsor.
Right.
They sound different. They have a different firing order. Some people say they sound a little lame. But it depends, you know, the customer needs to be happy by the end of the day. I like low end torque. I like big rumbly V8. I like pushrod motors.
Oh, that sounds good. Wow. Oh, it smells so good.
reliable. You know, there's not much that can break, and they run different. They feel way more powerful, and they will outperform a Coyote basically any day.
Is there other options with the ZF, or is this pretty much the go-to transmission for this power plant?
Well, this is a question. There's not too many transmissions available for GT40s in general, so the ZF, or in this case, it's an RBT, which is a slightly modified ZF. I think it's a perfect choice for the car. And it all depends. What's your goal? You want to go racing? You want to go cruising? You know,
right.
We have to define before we build a car. We always have to define your goals, and then we'll find the perfect engine transmission combo. There's several transmissions available. There's different gear ratios, you know, and you need to let me know what you like, and then we can get you a good setup.
Makes sense, makes sense. We're going to talk a little bit about the interior here, because I'm pretty sure you're curious, at least I am, is how easy is it to get in and out of? And then also, does it have like AC and things like that? Now, Marcus, can you put different seats in it, or is this pretty much what you're going to get?
No, you can have anything you like, basically. The GT40 comes with an Alcantara interior from factory,
Okay.
Nice black. You can have a full leather interior, and you can have different colors, as you can see here. You can have racing seats. It's up to the customer, basically.
Got it.
We make it happen, whatever you want.
Now, you can also have the transmission on the right side, and you can have it period correct, right? Where it's actually
you can
a
have-
right-hand drive car.
Right, you can make a right-hand drive, right-hand shift. You can make right-hand drive, center shift. You can have the left-hand drive, like this one. And it's really not a big difference between right and left-hand drive on the GT40. If you look at it from the front, it's basically the difference in your seat position is basically the width of the steering wheel. So it's not that dramatic, you know. But,
It's amazing that they can do that, though.
Yeah.
I find that fascinating. How many cars can you just do that with? You put the
Right.
transmission here or here, or, you know, wheel. I
Right.
get it, because you know,
Yeah.
European to US. All right, let me see if I can get in this thing, guys. All right, so the trick I hear is to kind of just put your leg down, just kind of slide down, and then I got to be honest, it's not too bad. I mean, it's not. If you're, you know, 80 years old, probably not the car for you. But being late 30s here, I can easily do it. And I gotta be honest, when you're in the car, it's comfortable.
It is, yeah. It's very comfortable, and they
feels
drive
good.
really well.
You know, you are gonna be pretty tight with your passenger, though.
The driver's seat is a little bigger, and you and your passenger, you need to be good buddies, yeah. That's for
You
sure.
gotta be good buddies. I like it. Now, when it comes to creature comforts, I do believe you can get AC, right?
Yes, they have AC from factory, other than you want a pure race version or the tool room car. But yeah, without AC, it's basically a greenhouse on wheels. It's getting pretty warm. But,
Greenhouse on wheels.
yeah.
I love it. Is that so? Reverse? Is it down to the left, or
It's a dog leg transmission like the BMW M3. So your first gear would be left and down, and the second, you're in second gear now.
Okay.
Is up, third is down, fourth is up again on the right, and fifth is all the way on the right and down. Reverse is all the way to the left
So wait,
and up.
the second is up?
This is second gear, yeah.
So where's first?
First gear would be all the way to the left and back. And
No
then
kidding.
reverse is
It's
forward.
down to the left.
It's a dog.
That's
Yeah,
first.
that's first gear. Yeah.
And that's second.
That's second, and then that's
Third.
third. Yes.
fourth. Oh, that's
Yep,
fifth.
and fifth.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And then where's reverse?
Reverse is all the way to the back.
Wow. Well, that's good. You're not going to mess up reverse and first. So that's good.
No,
But
no, there's no chance.
everyone, there's no chance. Some of these cars you can.
Yeah.
So again, so first is, let's see.
Yeah.
No, I didn't
Not
get
not
it.
all the way, just a little, and back up.
Okay.
It shifts better if it's running.
Oh, it's got to warm up, I'm sure, and all that. Cool. So, you know, again, any other options that the customer can own? Can you make this leather, Alcantara, stitching, and
You can,
like that?
yes, sir. You can have a complete leather interior. You can have a leather wrap dashboard. You can wrap it in Alcantara. You can have different gauges. Those are the standard Smith gauges. You can have a electronic gauge package. You can have custom-made gauges for your personal needs, or if you have your personal logo, you can have you can have it as much personalized as you would like.
Love it.
Yeah.
Now, this car doesn't have a lot of miles on it, right? Like
It's got 4,000 miles.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, that's not much, and it's fun to drive. So I don't know. Those cars are made to be driven. That's why I like those cars. You know, they perform. They are really awesome drivers. They're easy to live with, and it's just the coolest thing you can do.
Oh, they look incredible, and you know, Marcus tells me these are drivers' cars, and I'm a driver, guys, as you know. So we'll find out. You know, we'll see what it's like. You know, if it's like the Cobra, you're definitely going to have to man up. I mean, this is not your first car you're going to learn the manual on. I mean,
right.
This is probably the 19th car or something that you're getting when it comes to a manual. And I know manuals are dying. You know, to be honest, you know, dying people my generation don't really know how to drive them, you know, so.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun, you know. I mean, we live in times where horsepower is not impressive anymore. Everybody can have 1,000 horsepower. You have, you know, double clutch transmissions, automatic. Everybody's fast, but this is what makes you happy, you know. This is your machinist. You have your round gauges. You have a rumbling V8. You have a manual transmission. And that's why those cars are fun driving slow, too. Yeah, you can just roll along, you know, and enjoy the ride. You sit very low, and what I like, it feels like a fighter jet almost. You know, you sit like it's a race car basically.
How's the clutch feel?
The clutch is actually very light, very direct. Same with the brakes. You got a good feel for the brakes. The whole car is very neutral. You know, it doesn't try to kill you. It's very easy to drive. It's a very honest car, and it handles, I mean, it handles so good. We couldn't even, you know, try it out on those roads here. You need to go to a track, but yeah, they just drive super. It doesn't, you know, you don't need to go full throttle to have a lot of fun, and it's just a lot of emotion that come with those cars that you can't duplicate in a modern sports car. And I'm not saying they're not good. I love them all, and I've been lucky enough to drive a lot of those, but this is what gets your hairs to stand up, and this is really,
this is that X factor, that soul. Right?
That's
you know, you were just telling me a minute ago, guys, that he was in a new Tesla Model S Plaid, right? Which is one of the fastest cars ever made. I've been in it. It's amazing when you're just going for it, but like when there's just nothing. It's like a video game. There's just no soul to it. There's no fun factor outside of just that cheetah launch, right? Outside of that, this, on the other hand, just starting it up is a sense of occasion to it, right? Putting your foot into the clutch and feeling it, and the shakes and the vibrations and everything, and the lights, and it's just cool. There's just nothing else like it. And you know, I want to talk a little bit about, this is actually in the Shelby, what is it, the database? So these are actually licensed and you know.
They're licensed GT40s by the GT40 license holder, Zephyr.
And only Superformance has that, right?
Yeah, right.
So this car in 08 is officially in there, and you know, do you know how many cars they've produced now since the originals, and then how many years they've been making them?
They started making those, I think, in 2004, the GT40s, and started slowly the process. And yeah, we're up to, I think, about almost 20 cars a year now.
So 20 cars?
A year per year production. Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
Seriously? Yeah. You personally, or the whole company?
No, the whole company.
The whole company only makes 20 cars?
Yeah.
Well, I had no idea. I thought it was way more.
We have 2 build spots a month for GT40s. They produce up to 2 cars per month.
Superformance in South America produces 2 GT40s a month. That's it?
That's it.
It must produce a lot more Cobras then.
There's only, this is number 2117. I need to look up how many are exactly built, but it's not much.
Jeez, that's nothing.
No, that's why it's a rare car. It's not a mass production. And then every car is unique, basically.
Before we transition to the ordering process and just some of the other details about that, if you actually want one, I want to talk a little bit about the headroom you have in here. So you can go ahead and see that if you're not careful, you will chop off your head, okay? But when you're actually in the car, it's actually surprisingly roomy. I mean, I'm not saying that if I had a helmet on and I was on a racetrack that I'm gonna have to probably order a smaller cushion for me and being 6 feet tall, but if I don't have a helmet on, I am comfortable here. The other thing to be mindful of is you cannot roll the window down. So this kind of like plexiglass material here, you can kind of crack it. Again, that was period correct. And then you can see here on the doors, you have your AC controls here, recirculation. You have a couple of 12-volt outlets if you want to charge your cell phone as well. And overall, you know, it's just really, you know, well laid out. You know, and I just love that everything's a physical button. There's just nothing wrong with that. I am so over all these TFT screens having to control everything. You know, I don't want to interact with a computer to turn the air on. That's just my personal opinion. All right, guys, that's enough chit chat for me. What do you think? I think so. Let's fire this bad boy up and go for a drive. Good. All right, guys. Should we go for a little drive here, Marcus?
All right, let's go.
Fire her up, my man.
Fire it up.
Whew. That thing sounds so good. So the air's off right now, yeah?
Air's off, but we will turn it on here.
Well, you got really tiny mirrors, don't you?
Yeah, you don't see too much, but you don't care about the cars behind you anyway.
Yeah, they're not going to be there long. I love that it's all driver focused, you know?
Yeah, it drives very easy. Actually, I mean, you can see, you know, you sit it in very comfortably. I'm 6'1", and I still have some headroom.
I will say, for me as a passenger, I don't have as much headroom. I know I've seen double bubbles. This doesn't have a double bubble. Right?
Yeah, well, you can have 2 bubbles if you want, but usually, you know,
the wife is in the other side.
For me, the pedals would need to be adjusted a little further away. It would give me a little more headroom.
Right.
It's good. I mean, it's actually a very comfortable car. We got the AC running. You can just take it for a ride long distance. I did a lot of interstate driving with those. Not a problem at all.
Yeah, the suspension doesn't feel too bad. I mean, you know you're driving a sports car, but it's not beating you up.
No, it's pretty comfortable. Steering is light. There's no power steering, but there's no weight on the front end anyway, so it's not needed. And we need to let it warm up a little.
Sure.
Until we have a little oil temperature. But yeah, you can just roll along, you know, and enjoy the ride. You sit very low. And what I like, it feels like a fighter jet almost, you know, you sit like, it's a race car basically.
Yeah, I mean, your visibility is not terrible.
No, not at all.
You know, I mean, you can see, guys, you've got, you know, you're definitely tight, but pretty good. Doable. Got a great torque curve. Sounds great.
Now the sound is amazing.
Sounds amazing.
why everybody should put it on his bucket list. There's nothing better in terms of driving.
It's so flat, you know, the chassis when you're going for it. It feels so good, man. Oh yeah. Brakes rock. About that.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have.
Oh, so good. Well guys, I want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe, you know, like the channel. Really love to get to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube here shortly. It's been a passion project of mine and Bryan's now for many years. We love bringing content to you. I put every single cent right back into the channel. This is not a job for me, right? This is obviously a passion project. It's always been a passion project. I think to sum up the GT40, I mean, where are you gonna get a better looking car with more history and prestige, a better soul and fun factor? You saw in the point of view drive, the way it sounds, the way it drives. I mean, it really gets to the essence of what we are as car guys, right? And what we love and the feeling of the mid-engine. I mean, if you're a good driver and you can, you know, blip it and you can just make sure the gears mesh, I mean, it's going to deliver quite a performance. I mean, look, you know, they did win Le Mans, right, back in the day, beat Ferrari at their own game here. So, you know, go watch Ford versus Ferrari again. We're not going to talk all about that, but, you know, obviously an incredible machine if you know how to drive. The other point I want to make too to conclude here is they're really great stores of value. Like I said in the introduction, this is a car that was ordered in 2008 that has kept up with inflation and has been a very, very safe store of value. And because these are so limited production, I mean, they only make a couple a month, I'm told. So they're very hard to get. It's not like you can just go into any Superformance dealer throughout the country. We're just blessed here in Tennessee to have 427 Garage and have access to them. So if you want to get one of these, there's only a handful of build spots left, I'm told, and you got to go out to 2024 and 2025. So again, that's going to continue to make sure that the market for these and the values of these stays very strong. And to be honest with you, I don't think that there's too many cars left that are going to be something that I personally would aspire to own more than this right here. So those are my personal thoughts, guys. And I hope you overall learned something, got to know Marcus a little bit. You know, feel free to look them up, 427garage.com. They've always got really great inventory, they're really good people, and they take great care of you. So that's it for me. We will catch you on the next one, and we appreciate you watching. Talk to you later.